way I step, something in my jeans. And FOI, you know that's the team, huh?
Peace. This is your brother Aidan X, and welcome to the processing class. Peace. This is brother Aidan X, and welcome to the processing class. Today we got a very, very special guest, brother Trevor X, or Trey X. Yes, sir. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, sir. Good to be here.
Yes, sir. Peace be upon you, man. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fine, bro. How you feeling?
I'm feeling fine too. Let's get straight into it. How did you get the teachings? Were you born into the nation as a quote unquote nation baby, or did you get the teaching some other type of way?
Yes, sir. I'll say that, it was actually in 1997. My father got a final call off of a brother in the streets. And long story short, he decided to read it. And one Sunday, he decided to come to the mosque. And the next time he came to the mosque, it was him, my mother, and myself. And we were all dressed in African garbs. He wore like what he got married in. I wish I had a picture of it, but he wore that when he brought my mother to the mosque. So ever since then, I guess kind of, sort of. I mean, Islam is all I've known ever since I've been 3 years old and up until this very day. So I would just say, yes, that's how I was introduced to the teachings ever since then.
Oh, yes, sir. But what made you register? Because, often some of us, we have our parents' influence or family members or friends. But what made you say, hey, write that letter, I'm going to register?
You know what happened? It was one day at Muhammad's Mosque number 28, and student minister Jamil Muhammad. I don't know if you know him, but he's been on he's very prominent in the nation. So he gave a lecture one Sunday, and actually it was myself, and along with the other youth in the nation at our mosque at that time, we all decided to stand up at that day. So it was really a decision that I really wanted to make. I mean, I've seen the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan do more than speaking. It's his work and his example, because this is not a man this isn't a talker. This is a doer of the word, that he believes in what he teaches. So I decided I wanted to be a part of this, and I wanted to be an FOI because I've seen my dad go to FOI class. Being around the brotherhood ever since I was little, it was something that I personally wanted to do. And I made the decision that I wanted to be a registered member. I wanted to be responsible for my own actions when it comes to Islam. It was really just the beauty of it, and along with the struggle that comes with it. I mean, I just wanted to be an FOI. So that was really just it for me.
Yes, sir. Just going off of that, you wanted to be an FOI.
Yes,
you weren't scared of the discipline and, that accountability of, not drinking, not smoking, not fornicating, striving to, do how to eat to live, 1 meal a day,
yes,
5 prayers a day. It's a lot of structure for some people. And for some people, that's why they may not register or come to the mosque, because they think, I got to be perfect, in order to be in the nation. So just going into that, you don't think you wasn't scared of, the structure, the discipline, and do you have to be perfect in order to be an FOI?
Absolutely not. You don't have to be quote unquote perfect. We are in a process of becoming righteous. This is why, a lot of us, when we want to do something that is other than righteous, we choose others to link up in to do that, whether it comes to participating in weed, going to the clubs, fornication. We choose to do that together. But when it comes to doing something that is actually righteous, and that's something that will benefit us, we choose, like, we kind of get scared, because it's really something that we haven't had the spirit to participate in before. So it's kind of like a negative and a positive influence going into one another. So when it comes to doing something that is righteous, striving to make our prayers, eating healthy, exercising, reading our Holy Quran, this is a sacrifice that we have to make. And this is a sacrifice that we accept. We are choosing to do this. It's not being forced on us. Like, you have to do this, and that. Once you come to Islam and see what Islam, that transforming effect that it has, you have to submit yourself, just like how you submit yourself to a job at work. You submit yourself to doing certain things out in the world. Why not submit yourself to do something that is right? I mean, you will see the difference. You will see a complete transformation in your life if you just try it and accept it.
Yes, sir. Just looking at your Instagram right now. That's
Yes,
what you're
sir.
known for, your Instagram. You post a lot. You have over
Yes, sir.
35,000 posts.
Yes, sir.
I'm catching up with you.
Yes, sir.
And you're known for, you give your opinions on certain topics, of course, rooted in the teachings.
Yes, sir.
What do you think? Do you think there's an importance of sharing the teachings on social media, as well as Instagram, TikTok, and things of those sorts?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Because, social media is, I don't know how to word it, but social media is, it's bigger than these news channels today. This is the number one thing people go to. We're on our phones constantly. We're on some type of website today. The internet is so relevant and prominent today. So when it comes to us, showing these things on social media, people don't really go off. People, when you go, someone, or you can get a gist of someone off of their page. So when you see someone's page, the common thing is, they have pictures of themselves. They're out doing activities, and of course we do the same thing. So when you look up a person's page, you really get to know a lot about them. So once you start posting once you post certain things, you get to know a lot about them. So when it comes to, Islam is very important when we reflect it on our social media pages. It's not just about the talk, it's about the walk. We can talk it all day, but the question is, do you walk your faith? Do you walk your belief? Are you walking in your Islam? So it can be reflected importantly on social media, because this is what the people are coming to. They see people like Brother Reza, Brother Ben X, Brother Farrakhan, etc. When we are posting these things, we are doing what's right. I mean, we are supposed to be bringing our people in by the droves. Social media is very important, and I think that is one of the important revenues in in our relevance, because will always be relevant. But it's a great avenue, and just introducing people. People see what you post, what Minister Farrakhan, just put a little quote in or something like that, and people will get to know us and Islam through our pages.
Yes, sir. And just going on your Instagram right now, which is a common misconception, that people in the nation don't have, their own interests, like music,
Right.
like, things of those sorts, entertainment. And I see on your page, you post a lot of, you post your interests. You're not afraid to show what you're interested in.
Exactly.
You post Michael Jackson, R. Kelly,
Yes, sir.
R&B. So can you just go into that? Like, you can have hobbies and you can enjoy music. You can enjoy yourself in the nation.
Oh, absolutely. That's one of the biggest misconceptions. I mean, people think that once you join the Nation of Islam, you become a robot. Like, no, that's let me be one of the myth busters, if you will. Like, no, absolutely not. We are still Black people in America. We are human beings. We enjoy things, but as long as it is in a righteous context, as long as it is not negative, we want to be practicing and having fun when it comes to righteousness. It's okay to listen to music. You can have edited music, especially, or a clean version of a song. Or we watch movies, we have hobbies, we have fun together, we share brotherhood, sisterhood, and all of that kind of good stuff. So it's not like you're giving up your personal hobbies, as long as it's not a negative or it's something other than righteous. You should be willing to put those negative things away and accept the truth. So you're not losing anything. You're actually gaining so much more when you have an understanding.
Oh, yes, sir. Most definitely, man. I be into I still listen to the same rap music,
Right.
Of course, of course some of it changed, some of my interests changed, but
Right.
I'm still into the jewelry, the sneakers, all that stuff, man.
Right.
So, still keeping your righteousness.
Exactly.
But You know, even going on your social media, you speak on a lot of things that's considered may consider controversial. You know, of course,
Yes, sir.
it's rooted in the teachings. You talk a lot about race and things of that sort. Like you have one post I'm reading. You said the fear of genetic annihilation is the
Yes,
cause
sir.
of these mass shootings, and you were just talking about the recent Buffalo shooting.
Yes, sir.
In your opinion, do you think that these white supremacy will end, and do you think that white people will eventually do right by Black people?
uh, excuse me, brother. Will white supremacy end? Absolutely. It absolutely will end. It will end. You know, Allah has certain things in place and in motion. These things have been put in motion before we were even born. But what was the other question? I'm sorry.
Do you believe that white people will eventually do right by us? Because we see the injustices, it's mass shootings, we see the police, all of these things, you know, and people say it's 2022. Why are these things still happening? So do you believe eventually white people will eventually do right by us?
Well, that's a deep question. I believe that eventually, by doing right, we will receive our reparations and our land, whether Allah permits it to be done through our enemy. That's a big possibility. But I know that white people, quote unquote, you know, the white supremacists, they are not going to just hand over uh, what they have. Allah is going to have to force them through punishment to get those certain things that are needed for us. Our land, our states, what we are supposed to be given ever since slavery, our God-given right. Like what we will be given will come from directly from Allah. Now, will it be through the hands of our enemies? Maybe. I can't say. I know I've heard certain things that the messenger said, but I don't want to misquote our messenger. So I want to be right and exact. So I can't go into that directly, but I do know that we will have our promised land. Yes,
Mm.
sir. Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And you have another post, brother, and these are just some that caught my eye, but I
Yes,
wanted to
sir.
bring it
Please.
up. You said heaven for a man isn't OnlyFans. It isn't
Right.
the PlayStation 5. Heaven for a man is a woman.
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
You stand by. Can you just go into that for a second? You know.
Yes. I stand on you know that because you know when we think of heaven or when heaven pops up in our mind, you know, we think of a place that is in the sky with pillowy clouds and nice pearly gates and golden steps and these things. So, you know, when you close your eyes, I heard the minister say, when you think of spoon, close your eyes and think of a spoon. You know, a spoon will pop in your head. If you think of a fork will pop in your head. But if you think of God, you are totally lost. So when we think of heaven, you know, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad said, a nation can rise no higher than its woman. And the only heaven for a man is a woman. And when it comes to this heaven, I mean, you're supposed to, as a man, if you are doing your duty, you will receive heaven from your woman, a peace of mind, quiet of mind. These are things that men want when we come home, especially after dealing in the white man's world, after dealing in the world of white supremacy. If you work a job, or any job, if you work on a plant, at a hospital, I mean, just any type of job, the hell that you have to go through when you want to unwind. I mean, the best, the best way to unwind is knowing that you have a peace of mind coming home to your woman, having a hot meal. I mean, something of help to drink. You know, knowing that your family is safe, having your children run up to you, having your woman help you unwind, run some bath water for you, etc. These are the beautiful things. This is heaven for you. I mean, your woman, that black woman is so special, man. When she is in tune with her nature, you are absolutely getting heaven. So that's what I'll speak on that.
Oh, yes, sir. You know, another misconception about
Mhm.
Islam specifically is that, you know, Islam is intended to oppress women, mistreat women, misuse women,
Mhm.
control women, you know, in inordinate fashion. So can you just go into that? Did you being into the Nation of Islam and learning the teachings, did it make you think less of a woman? Did it make you think that a woman should walk, 10 paces behind you, that a woman should be a slave to a man?
Yes, yes, sir.
Did it do any of that to you?
Absolutely not, because these misconceptions, or we get Islam, people get people get Islam mixed up with Arab culture. In Islam, when it is properly taught, this is why it is so important why Master Fard Muhammad came and taught the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Our star and crescent sits in the first phase when it comes to our women. When our women are civilized and doing what is right, I mean, we truly have what we need, because as I said before, a nation can rise no higher than its woman. You don't have your woman standing behind you, walk beside your woman. These are things that we are taught. We are taught to honor and protect our woman, because through her is that we are going to build our nation. I mean, it is really through the woman. Once the woman is intact, once she knows herself, and once she knows who Allah is, I mean, we'll be straight. I mean, because mothers really are our first teachers. So it's not, at a certain point, the children are turned over to the father, but mother, she's the one that is instilling principles and her really godhood in our children. This is why a woman must really know herself. And in Islam, especially, we are not doing anything to devalue our women. Our women are not forced to cover their heads. They're not forced to wear, their garments. This isn't something that's forced. This is something that we have accepted. And it's not like you're wearing it every single day, but it is a protection for them. It is a protection for the women, the men, really, because when you see a woman that is covered, that's something that is really key, because a man, unless he is an absolute fool, he won't try her like he'll try a woman that's wearing a tight dress or revealing her cleavage. And that's not to be disrespectful, but that's just to be real. When a woman is covered with her hair covered, walking upright and being respectful, you have to come at her in a whole different manner. As a matter of fact, the only person for her is Allah and an FOY, period.
Oh, yes, sir. We live in a generation, you can argue, it's a very over sexualized society. You can call it a sex society.
Yes, sir.
And you also talk about that a lot on your Instagram. You talk about relationships. You talk about, the women and, how it's not about the makeup or the weaves.
Right.
You talk a lot about that. And I'm looking at a post right now. You said relationships aren't about sex all the time. What our women really want is companionship.
Absolutely.
Can you just go into why you believe that?
Well, I believe that because I heard the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan speak in a lecture called "The Keys to a Successful Marriage," and me myself, when you go through things, especially in a relationship, in a marriage, the companionship is so important, and relating to one another. It's not about the see what society has made it seem is. And the worldly, on these ridiculous TV shows, sex is the number one thing. And that is absolutely false. We have to have companionship and be able to relate to one another. Of course, well, first on a spiritual level, that spiritual mindset and that spiritual relationship is very important, especially as Muslims and especially in this world as we are going through. So we have to be companions. And really, when it comes to companionship, we just have to be friends, especially. I mean, we can believe in the same thing, but that's not enough. You have to be able to relate to your partner. Do you all have similar experiences in life? Do you all have the same interests? Do you like the same type of music? Do you all like the same type of activities or hobbies? So these are things that are very important. The enemy's world has us thinking that, the way we dress, like especially when it comes to our women revealing themselves, oh, this is attraction. Yes, you'll attract somebody, but you're not going to be able to keep somebody. You keep someone with your mindset. It's not your body, because our looks are going to wither when we get older. That's something, gravity is going to pull everything down anyway. but that's a whole different story. So we have to be willing to relate to one another, especially Black people in this wicked racist society. We cannot be against one another. We cannot fall into the traps of quote unquote feminism. And I know I'm going there, and I might ruffle a few feathers, so we can't be mistaken when it comes to white supremacy and these teachings with feminism and the man wants a woman to do this, do this, to do this, and do that. We cannot fall into these traps.
Oh, yes, sir. Another misconception, just going through the misconceptions, is that the Nation of Islam and Muslims in general don't believe in Jesus. So I just want to ask you, do you believe in Jesus? And do you believe in that the common picture of Jesus, the white skin, the blonde hair, the blue eyes, is that
right.
Jesus? Is that God?
Well, we as Muslims, we believe in all of the prophets that Allah sent. We believe in Jesus, absolutely. But we believe in the right Jesus, not the white Jesus, not the Caucasian that was given to us on a plantation, on a plantation to make us a better slave and to serve white people. Just think about that in your head. So if Jesus is Caucasian, if that were true, we wouldn't have a problem with that. But it is not. So if he was Caucasian, so that means if he is the son of God, that would mean God is right. God is Caucasian. And so does that mean that God approves of these Black killings, the killings of Black people, the oppression of melanated people all over the planet Earth, slavery, injustice, redlining, lynching? So if the Jesus and the God that maybe another person is praying to is that, then that would mean that it's absolutely fine that Jesus is this Caucasian man, and nobody has to pay for their sins. That means white people are absolutely off the hook and absolutely fine. But no, we know that he is described in the Bible as having hair like lamb's wool and feet burned like brass in an oven. So I don't know how they got nappy hair out of that picture, but that was really done to be make the whole world an entire slave to them, or white people. But yes, we absolutely believe in Jesus and what he taught. He was and is a Black man. The Jesus of 2,000 years ago, Black man. The Jesus of our modern time, Black man. Period.
Yes, sir, man. That's definitely correct. Why follow another man? Often when we think of, how we say we're followers of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Yes, sir.
Most people, especially, and this is more often with men, when you think of following somebody, you think of being ignorant, brainwashed, kind of a cult type of mindset.
Exactly.
So would you call yourself brainwashed? Would you call yourself in a cult? And do you think, why follow another man?
Well, when it comes to following another man, with that question, I really don't know what we are looking for other than a man to be taught by. Because if God describes himself as he and I, these are personal pronouns. So this is a person talking to you. And no, we are absolutely not in a cult. But when it comes to brainwashing, like hell, don't you think we need a good brainwashing from white supremacy and self-hatred? Don't you think we need a good brainwashing from calling each other niggas? I mean, it's easy to kill a nigga, but it's hard to kill your brother. If we think of each other that way, we need a good brainwashing from self-hatred and white supremacy. So I would say when it comes to following a man, I mean, we already follow men in general, but in different ways. We don't say it out loud. Like back in the day when remember when Lil Wayne had dreads? And everybody started to follow that trend. So yes, that's an example of following a man, but we do not follow a spook. Allah never describes himself as some ghost, but when it comes to, you may say spirit, but spirit is manifested in man, period. I mean, we cannot be looking for some type of paranormal activity guy to come and wave his hands and everything be absolutely all right. So yes, we are following a man that manifests the spirit of God today. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is manifesting God's spirit. He is manifesting the spirit of his teacher, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, in our midst. So he is manifesting what we need today. So when it comes to man, absolutely, yes. Yes, we follow a man. So we cannot follow a spirit. We can't follow something in front of us that we cannot physically see or touch. You get lessons from man. You get life goals and lessons and teachings from man, period. So when it comes to this ghost teaching or ghost spirit, that is absolutely false. And that what was given to us to make us a better slave. And as you can see, it's doing an excellent job today.
Oh, yes, sir. You may have some people watching this and they may be like, yes, I agree with the nation and the minister when it comes to how they speak about Black people. I agree with the original man. I agree that we wasn't swinging on vines, that we're the first, that all races came from us. I agree that we need to have an economic blueprint. I agree that we need to stand up and be dignified men and women. But why believe in Allah? Why believe in God? You know, a lot of people, especially our people, are kind of disvalued with religion like me. I grew up an atheist.
Right.
So I'm saying that to say, why believe in Allah? And this is another part to the question. Who is Allah? Who is God? Is he a spirit in the sky? Is it, like I said, the white Jesus? Can you just go into that? Why do you believe in God? And what does that God look like to you?
I believe in God because we exemplify, or God allows us to have his attributes. And I believe in God because not just because of the feeling, but because of what he allows us to manifest in human beings. Allah allows for us to be, to have some of his attributes, the 99 attributes that, the names of Allah. So it's not that we are giving a spooky type of sense or reality. We are bringing Allah to you in the form of a man, because Allah exercises himself through human beings, period. We cannot look for a spook God, because who taught us that in the first place? It was our Caucasian slave master who gave us a spook God to look forward to after we worked hard day in and day out, and just to have some sort of comfort when we pass on. So I definitely believe that we should worship God in the correct sense of knowing that he is a man, because he tells us who he is, and he describes himself. Of course, earlier I used the personal pronouns as an example. So when it comes to Allah, it is very important for us to not be creeped out or, spooked out. This is why it comes to us to teach our people these things. We have to bring them into the reality of God, and knowing that they are first themselves, like, you are God. You are a little G. You are not the main G. You are a little G. You are a child of the Most High God. And how do you know that? Because of the righteousness in our nature. Even though we have been made wicked, we have been made other than ourselves, but it is not too late. As long as we are in a process of redeeming ourselves. This is why it is so important to know God, that God has not absolutely forsaken you and absolutely lost you. People are taught that, if you don't do this, you're going to burn in hell forever, and all of this kind of crazy teaching. But this is why the Nation of Islam is so important, because we give the reality of God and we bring you to God. And we want you to know that it starts with self, because you are a God first and foremost. This is what's important to know, because people they be like, oh man, like, I never heard that before. Like, yes, but we have to practice righteousness, and we cannot give up on our people and give them a false sense of God, that he is something out in the sky, or Jesus is something, far out, because that isn't a tangible teaching. The young people today, they really don't want to hear any of that. They want you to come with them. They want you to come to them real and keep it 100, because if not, they'll just totally miss you over or cuss you out and tell you to keep walking, period. So yes, sir, we have to definitely bring our people to the reality of God. And I believe in Allah, God, because, we manifest his attributes.
Yes, sir. That was certainly powerful. But I
Yes,
just
sir.
want to thank you, Brother Trevor, Brother Trey X, for
Yes,
coming
sir.
on your little brother's platform that he's trying
Thank
to
you,
build up.
brother. Thank
Yes,
you. It's an
sir.
honor to be on here, man. The processing class, and it's very beautiful. May Allah continue to bless you in this work, man. Like, this is beautiful, man.
All praise is due to Allah, brother. We striving. I definitely look forward to hopefully building with you again in the future. And I
Definitely.
definitely look forward to hopefully meeting you in real life. And
Oh,
we
yes,
tackle
sir.
our community, brother. So
Yes,
just
sir.
thank you. Give your family the greetings.
Yes, sir.
I pray Allah continues to bless and protect you and your family. So thank you so much.
Yes, sir. You and yours as well, brother.
Yes, sir. Salam alaikum, brother.
Walaikum salam, sir.